Tonight, we're kicking off a high-stakes investigation. We're going deep into a threat that's hiding in plain sight, making up over 60% of the food we eat. We're talking about ultra-processed foods, and we are here to expose the triple threat they pose to your body.
So let's start our investigation with just one number, 508. This number, this is the key to the entire case. What if I told you it explains why no matter how hard so many of us try, we're fighting a losing battle with weight? This isn't just a number, it's a daily biological breach.
And this is where it comes from, a bombshell study out of the National Institutes of Health. But wait a second, let's look at this. The diets were matched for everything: calories, sugar, fat, even fiber. And yet, on the ultra-processed diet, people gained 2 pounds. On the whole food diet, they lost 2 pounds. I mean, how is that even possible?
That is the central question, right? That study proved this isn't about your willpower. And it's not just about the nutrients you see on a label. It's about how these industrial formulations literally hijack your biology. And tonight, we are exposing the three-part mechanism behind this system hijack.
Okay, let's dive into threat number 1. We're calling it the hunger hack. The first piece of this whole puzzle isn't about what people were eating, but how astonishingly fast these industrial foods force them to eat.
In that landmark NIH study, the participants on the ultra-processed diet, they were consuming food at a rate of 17 calories per minute, just inhaling it.
But on the unprocessed diet, only 11 calories per minute. That is a 35% difference in speed. So what is actually happening here?
And this right here perfectly illustrates the core of the hack. Think about it like this. Ultra-processed food is like a direct injection of calories. It gets absorbed so fast it completely overwhelms your body's fullness signals. A whole food, though, that's like a time-release capsule. It breaks down nice and slow, and it gives your satiety hormones the time they need to tell your brain, hey, we're full down here.
And here's the really crucial part. This is not an accident. These foods are physically engineered to be this way. They're built from pulverized ingredients, given soft, hyper-palatable textures that require way less chewing. You're just consuming them faster than your brain's "I'm full" signal can even kick in. It's like the brake lines have been cut on your entire appetite control system.
All right, let's move on to the next threat, because this system hijack gets a lot more sinister. We're moving from the speed of eating to actual cellular destruction happening deep inside your gut. We're talking about a slow poison.
The key culprits here are a class of industrial additives called emulsifiers. They're everywhere, used to bind oil and water in everything from your ice cream to your bread. But here's the critical detail from the research. They have detergent-like properties.
Wait, detergent? Let that sink in for a second. The research is suggesting these additives could be acting like a cleaning agent on the inside of our bodies. It sounds completely insane, but the science is, well, it's alarming.
The science says it's shockingly similar. First, these detergent-like emulsifiers basically erode the protective mucus layer that lines your gut. With that defensive wall weakened, harmful bacteria can get dangerously close to your intestinal cells. This compromises the tight junctions holding those cells together, and that creates a condition known as leaky gut. And finally, bacterial components, like liposaccharide or LPS, they escape into your bloodstream.
So let's be absolutely clear what this means. Industrial additives are basically punching holes in our most important defensive barrier, allowing bacterial toxins to just flood our system. This isn't just a gut issue. It triggers a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation throughout the entire body, called metabolic endotoxemia, and that is a key driver of systemic disease.
But the attack, it isn't just physical. The third and final threat is maybe the most insidious of all. It's the brain hijack, a deliberate, engineered war on your mind.
So let's look at the industry's own term for this, the Bliss Point. The hyperpalatability of these foods is absolutely no accident. It is the result of meticulous industrial formulation, the precise combination of fat, sugar, and salt that is designed to maximize the release of the reward chemical dopamine in your brain, making that food irresistible.
And you know what's truly unbelievable is that this is the exact same playbook Big Tobacco used. They took a natural substance, the tobacco leaf, processed it, added chemicals, and created a product that rapidly delivered nicotine to the brain. Well, the food industry takes natural things like grains, processes them, adds fat and sugar, and delivers a rapid hit to the brain's reward system. It's the same model.
And this isn't just us speculating.
This is Professor Ashley Gearhart, a leading expert, testifying that the dopamine activation from these foods can be of a similar magnitude to well-known addictive substances like nicotine and alcohol.
So this is not a failure of willpower. It is a pre-programmed biological hijack. The Bliss Point engineering creates this powerful dopamine feedback loop that just bypasses your body's normal fullness mechanisms. That reward signal is so intense, it literally overrides the message to stop eating, promoting compulsive behavior.
So, the evidence is in. After laying out the case for this systemic attack on our bodies, let's go to the verdict.
Ultra-processed foods are without a doubt a triple threat. First, the hunger hack, engineered to be eaten so fast they literally outpace your body's fullness signals. Second, the slow poison, industrial additives that damage your gut barrier and trigger chronic inflammation. And third, the brain hijack, formulated to target your brain's reward system and engineer addiction.
Yep, when you put all this evidence together, it becomes incredibly clear. Choosing whole foods, it isn't just about a diet.
It is about taking back control of your biology. It's an act of biological self-defense against a system that is designed from the ground up to be hijacked.
We've laid out the playbook. The only question left is for you. Now that you know how the system is being hijacked, how will you protect yours?